This is a situation that combines the worlds of heavy metal, MMA, and politics. So naturally, it's going to be somewhat combustible. It pertains to the band Architects, in my opinion, one of the best heavy metal bands you can find out there. A few weeks ago, they just released a new song called Seeing Red. So much attention being paid to what they're tweeting and liking. I just want to point out, hey, they're actually a band who plays music as well. So you should go see them live, regardless of what they're tweeting about, because they make really good music. They play it well live. They're very entertaining. May 2nd, they're kicking it off in Toronto, Montreal, going down to Boston, Brooklyn, Philly, Silver Spring, Maryland, South Carolina, Daytona Beach at Welcome to Rockville, Atlanta, Georgia, Nashville, Tennessee, Columbus, Ohio at Sonic Temple, and then they're playing Chicago, Michigan, Columbus, and then they're heading over to Germany right after that. So this is a situation where you have Adam Christianson, the guitarist of Architects, retweeting a message from political commentator Tim Pool. Now, Tim Pool is not a stranger to the world of heavy metal. He has his own band. He's interested in music, but he also has Phil Labonte on regularly. He's like a member of the show from All That Remains. Phil's a friend of the show here. Phil's another person who does not shy away from politics either. I have actually gotten to hear a little bit, a tiny snippet of some new All That Remains, and I just want to say, for those of you that like All That Remains, I'm really getting early All That Remains vibes from this music, and they're supposed to be dropping new music this year, so I'm very excited to hear what they come up with that. But, you know, there are ties between Tim Pool and heavy metal. So you have Adam Christianson retweeting him, seemingly in agreement with Sean Strickland, who's really going off on this reporter. He says, "You're not a real man." He's mad at him he's asking Sean Strickland about, you know, matters related to LGBTQ plus. Strickland's going off on him. You can watch the whole thing. He also is going off on Justin Trudeau and saying he's done a real shit job running Canada. So it wasn't just what Strickland was saying about that. He was also just going off on the state of Canada because the pay-per-view is taking place in Canada tonight. Strickland and Duplessis are going to fight each other. These two guys hate each other. Like, this is one of the most personal fights I've seen in UFC in probably the last 5 years, where these two guys don't like each other. Sean Strickland is totally unhinged. You can't predict what he's going to do. You can't predict what he's going to say. He's just a very wild guy, very much unhinged. A lot of eyes on this fight taking place tonight. So there's your elements of that. But this is what Adam retweeted that upset a number of people. And of course, because this is a political issue and a lot of this stuff is very much divided right down the middle, you have a lot of people that agree with him as well. But I just want to say that, like, there are many examples of musicians in bands that have differing beliefs. I think that's kind of normal and ordinary. I don't really understand why people are advocating for someone who potentially has different political beliefs to be kicked out of a band. System of a Down is a prime example. They're doing Sick New World. John Domayan has totally opposite views of Serj Tankian, and they're still brothers in the band. What it comes down to is respect. Can you communicate with each other and have a level of respect for each other? Do you have to talk about politics all day? Is that really what life is about? I don't think so. There's another example of a pretty odd couple of friends, and that would be Tom Morello and Ted Nugent. Talk about polar opposites. Tom Morello has said, you know, I think some of Ted Nugent's views are very crazy. He doesn't agree with them, but he'll also go like, you know, he's been a good friend to me, and he's an amazing guitar player. That's a pretty mature way to be. So, but at the end of the day, I just want to go through this and let's take a look at what Adam Christianson had to say about this. So the PRP has the screenshot of this, and they have a great article on this, and their site in general is just very well done, very up to date. I've linked to them in the description. Support the PRP. I think they do great work. This is what they've chronicled from this. And so this is the screenshot. You can see Adam Christianson retweeted Tim Pool, holy F, fucking A+ guy right here. Thanks Bud Light for bringing this message on the infection that is the woke left. Sean Strickland there posting, I don't know who this guy is. He's talking about the reporter he's talking to, but he goes, I don't know who this guy is, and I don't care, but you're not a man. But you'd take that as a compliment. Sean Strickland, again, very outspoken. People are going to go to Dana White about this. What Dana White is going to say is, you know, he does not he allows all opinions in the sport of MMA. It's just that place where there's a lot of bravado, there's a lot of shit talking that goes on just by the nature of what they do. And so Sean Strickland is just crazy guy. So a lot of people started pointing this out, that he retweeted this. Now, of course, it is fair to say Architects have pretty much always been considered a left-leaning band. They have their own views, and I think like anyone, you can't really put them entirely into a box of what all of their beliefs are. I don't know. It's not really interesting to me. I think their music is fantastic. This is what Adam Christianson said in response. He goes, shit, that retweet was a total accident. I don't endorse anything that guy says other than fuck Trudeau. Sorry for the panic, everyone. Complete all thumbs moment. So I don't know if he accidentally reposted that, because there's a lot of people pointing out that you have to hit the button twice to share the post. But also, he's pointing out he's not going into that part. Again, as I mentioned, there's a large portion of what he was saying where he was railing against what I think is fair to say, the pretty crappy job that Justin Trudeau has done running Canada. And I say this because I love Canada. I've been there numerous times. It's a beautiful place with wonderful people. Mainly, there's a lot of people on social media speculating or calling for him to be fired from the band. If he got fired from the band for retweeting something, that's pretty lame, in my opinion. But most importantly, above all of this, let's just push this shit aside and point out again that Architects has a new song out called Seeing Red that I think is very good. And they've got a badass North American tour. And we don't get to see these guys very often. So I'm really excited to see them live this year. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're new here at Rockfeed and you hate this video, feel free to keep it moving. Much love, much respect. But if you want to stick around, I appreciate that as well. Hit that subscribe button with notifications on. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. Stick around for the next news video.